Ew. Hello, I'm Omri, playing Trials of the Betwixt. Betwixt. Okay, I didn't see it in my head. I wasn't sure if I could pronounce that. I'm usually scared to play visual novels because I have a speech impediment and my voice doesn't do the words good. So I might not read all of it out, but I'm excited to play this. And I saw that the developer didn't have any like testers because it was a game jam game. So I will try to be very transparent in my reactions and feelings and thoughts to hopefully provide some thorough feedback or maybe just some noise. I don't really know. I'll do my best. Okay, so we're running. That happened so fast it surprised me. But I like the 3D background. Oh, also, yes, that's me. I noticed when you start the game and you hit the X button, it says you want to do a early exit or something. That's just cute. I like that, a little addition. So that's AJ. I'm like trying to see past the dialogue window to see if he has like the rest of his body. I think he does. I can see like a belt. I don't think it came out wrong. I mean, that would get my attention. Oh, see, he does have pants. Okay. Why not borrow the equipment from somewhere else? Couldn't we bought the equipment? Why do you? I thought that's why you need to steal chess club members. Oh, yeah. Why do you need? I found that like it's the band kids and the art students that stay the longest after school. See, music club. It's the band geeks that stay. See, I won't say it. Um, it's an interesting choice not to show me, at least in the game, what Christopher looks like. Obviously, that probably in the on the page for the game, but well, they've got 3 characters now. What was I saying? Oh, just to not show him yet. You could put like a little thing here. And you probably just move the text box to the right a little bit. That's just rude. finally figured out what his hair was doing. The back of his instrument made it look like he was like it was pulled back and also into like a very high ponytail. Anyway, back to the story. Hash browns solve everyone's problem. I love AJ's eyebrows a lot. I love big furry little whatever you call them. I'm sorry, my mouse got really big there. I got excited. The problem is both of these are true. It's nothing serious. And they're not telling me what color dyed it, which makes me think maybe that depends on my answers, what color my hair end up being. Such a cryptic, cool thing to say. Where did you forget? What? Why'd you get changed on the fourth floor? I mean, I don't want to forget about it now. We already started. He's probably dying. I mean, that's the most logical answer. I had problems with that once. How do you think I died? But this is like, I, I went to a school that was being under construction as I was there. Like, in between classes, there were like construction people like carrying planks and stuff around. And it didn't look as dingy as this. Kind of. His butt lights up. Why not its eyes? I guess it's funnier if butt lights up, but I've also almost been lost in a school before. They do have to check legally before they lock things up. Oh wow. I don't know why I sound like Owen Wilson when I said oh wow, but this is kind of like the game that I'm working on, this like first person perspective. we get to open the doors. I want to interact with the doors. Doors? That cat's butt is very bright, actually. I mean, we can't see too far ahead, but like we can see pretty clearly in the 2 feet radius around us. Hello? Hello, little guy. I mean, you're not unknown. I know you're a humanoid. I know you're a monster. Okay, don't be demeaning, Christopher. Yeah, he doesn't want the little. He's not a baby. He doesn't need a little toy. He's so angry. Well, I expected you to answer my questions. Question mark, man. Person. He's like made of watercolor. I like it. Interesting choice, because I do go. Oh, hello, another party, another one joining the party. Guess not. That was a bad noise. Interesting. Introduce a guide. Because narratively, that would function as the wise old man, the mentor of sorts, just to sort of push you. But also, it could be a tutorial sort of character. I do, in my own mind, wonder, because I'm doing it my own game, what would happen if you had a character that was completely alone. You might. I don't know. That's comforting. That's it's really comforting. I like how the one perspective makes everything very claustrophobic. And I like that. It is extremely impressive for a game jam game, by the way. I'm trying to think some like little things that could like, I don't know, really sell it is like, and this is just my own thought of making the text like speed up or slow down or emphasize words. Kind of like in like Ace Attorney, how like when they say something, ew. Yeah, I know. I always weak of cowardice. It's me. That's just rude, Christopher. Don't touch me. You see, those are beings too. You know what would also be nice? I don't want to be like making requests to be like, change it so I like it. To do something with like the, I say canvas because I use Unity in Godot, but that's not what you're using. Some sort of overlay or top layer of like really subtle, like a figure or something, like an overlay, or like really low transparent, like a screen tech thing of like an eye or something, just like hidden in there, like I thought there were multiple guns. Yes, I have. Intriguing. Back to my train of thought. Like the movie Halloween, how he's, I forget the name of the Jason, not Jason. Anyway, in Halloween, there's always like the guy's out at the beginning of the movie, and he's in the background of every shot, pretty much, and you don't notice. And when you don't notice it first, but like if it ever does catch your eye, like you like wander off to the corner of the screen for whatever reason, and you catch a glimpse of him, like that adds to that tension. I blinked. I think it was this one. Aw. Gotta start that again. I probably should have saved, but I don't know. People are more generous than you think. Okay, well, I guess I chose the right option the first time. Yeah. Again, sorry about my fumbly mouth. But yeah, that's a maybe an option to explore it instead of sort of shooting down these dialogue trees. I mean, you could still like end the conversation there and be like, we don't have any money, or no one's going to give us stuff that we need. But like, let that play into something further along, like further along the line. Is it Mike? Is Michael the name of the killer in Halloween? Maybe, but it like really subtle things. Like you would even have like, I mean, it depends how tense you want it to get. If you do want it just to tell a story with like a scary backdrop, I think this is fine. Because there is like a lot of setup here. And with his friend, he's got the band. I'm assuming they're in high school. I say assume, and they probably said that, and I feel really dumb. But Christopher like clearly doesn't always open up to people, and the thing with his brother, and maybe his sister. Like, there's a lot of threads here, and it can just ride on that and be very satisfying. And the whole tying hair thing, I don't know why that was such a big idea yet. I'll be more honest. and the anxiety and the stage fright. There's a lot of tension riding on this character. And I don't know, there's like little touches you could do to add to it to make the world feel as tense as the character does. Obviously, this is still, you know, and I am paying attention to the story, I swear. I'm a very fast reader. That's just rude. I've done that before. I really like the Chris for more than you'll know. Oh, thank you. And obviously, Christopher has like very low self-esteem, so you can. It's vulnerable characters that work best in horror scenarios because they're easily manipulated, easily stressed out. So what I'm saying is I do really like the setup. I did mention that you do different things with tests, and you do make it smaller when they're whispering. I'm thinking of... What am I thinking of? There is the company that makes its mobile games about like classic stories. Like they have like a escape the room kind of game, visual novel for Frankenstein, and they have one for Phantom of the Opera. And I think they do stuff with the text to make it a little punchier sometimes. Like maybe they'll change the font for certain characters in a certain voice or something. Like again, they'll like it seems cheesy to be like, oh, I'm gonna put this text in red because I want the audience to pay attention to it. But like you're leaving hints, not answers. So like by like I don't know, making little notes in the text of what to pay attention to can keep people very, very invested in the story. People who aren't as used to like sort of sifting through text to look for themes and conflicts. And that might not be what you want. Maybe you just want this to be a thing, a game jam thing. You want it to work and you're done. You're gone. Then that's fine. It's just something to think about. All right, light your butt, cat. I hope what I'm saying is helpful and interesting, because the last thing I want to do is play your game and sound like a pretentious asshole. That's not what I want to do. I want to provide as much as I can because it's very, 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 very good already. Like you finished a game jam game and that like blows my mind in itself, but like the art is great. The character art is very like really good. I like how AJ still had like a gesture to him, while like some visual novels just kind of have it flat on. and the lighting of his face, like his face was like flatter than the rest of him, and it drew my attention to it. All very good and very successful. I like the sort of like kind of 3DS look of the not 3DS, the three-dimensional look of the backgrounds, because it's not really about the backgrounds. It's about the story, the characters. So good on you for not putting your attention where it doesn't need to be. Or maybe that was just a time constraint and you want to do more with the background. That's also fine. And I don't want to run because I don't want to be that much of a coward. Unless I can't win the musical chairs. Maybe I'll say. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I like the sort of, it opened with his heart like beating rapidly and the anxiety of that. And then he wonders if he's anemic, so I'm already kind of wondering, does he have some sort of physical thing going on, or is it like just mental health? And that's an interesting sort of through line to think about. Because I've seen this kind of premise done before, and it's always like, is it real? Is it fake? But is it in my mind? Is it really happening? And I feel like taking it from that angle of like, am I having just anxiety, or am my anxiety just that bad, or do I have like something more going on? And that could be like a thematic thing that you carry on with. I do wonder also why the guide. I don't I don't want to seem annoying. I'm very invested, very impressed. Hello. And the reason why I'm talking so much and so like analytically is because I love this stuff. I would say I live for this stuff, but I'm not alive. I love these like narrative ideas, these sort of spooky, I don't know, backdrops. I can probably skip this. I'm gonna yell at them, but actually this does give me a chance to talk about my thoughts. Like, the reason I'm saying so much is because it's already so good. And I want to see it elevated. So, like, I'm already looking for connections, like, the guy called him childish, so I wonder, is that something Christopher's insecure about? Like, he was worried about not being, like, good enough, and not, like, he didn't want to, like, show how anxious he really was. And now he's playing, like, musical chairs, and that's a child's game. Is it... Oops. I, like, spaced out for a second. You know, does this have to do with the fact that, you know, he is in high school and he says, like, I'm not a child, but I'm assuming he's under 18, so he technically is. Is that something he struggled with? Or am I just missing it? Am I just insane? I'm sorry. I'm really excited by this idea. And if the developer does watch it, hi. it's not gonna. Okay. So another round? Oh, that is how musical chairs work, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, I keep freaking out like that. I'm coughing. I've gotten once I start saving in visual novels, I just don't stop. Like every other line I'll say. But also, hi, if you're the developer watching, hi. I hope you're watching. I'd be embarrassed if I put all this in and you're just like, I don't feel like it. Which is fair, but I'd be embarrassed. I don't know. Ghosts take musical chairs very seriously. You know how much power it takes to move a chair as a ghost? Like, this is exhausting. I hope I finished all my thoughts. I have a terrible habit of starting a sentence, not finishing it. What did I? Interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna sit here. You just do whatever, I guess. And again, I would have liked to see some sort of very subtle, like in indication of a thing being there. Like, I guess, like it could just be a very faint, like outline of a figure that's like at 5% opacity, like just enough to throw me off a little bit would make me feel on edge like Christopher is. Because the writing's good enough that I understand how Christopher feels, and that's very strong. And because it's a game, you have the opportunity to make me, the player, not only understand how Christopher feels, but feel the way Christopher feels. And I think you can really do that with like very little touches to the scenery. You're already kind of doing it with some of the sound effects. I got lost in the background. What else is mine? Oh, I forget its name. There's another mobile game, another mobile game development company that has a premise like this. Well, not like this, but it has like the trial. It's another like escape the room kind of point and click game. What's it called? I'll put it on the screen as like Alice in Wonderland theme, but there's like a creepy bunny running around and like you're accused of murder, and then there's one. I remember the one with the worst title. I think that one's also on Twitch, but it's called something about the cock robin. Yes, it is what it's called, the cock robin. I mean, the word is in the title, and it was hard to forget. And they do a bunch of these games, all of them. Oh, see, like that, like got my attention. Ew, why are your hands wet? But yes, they do like creepy. Yeah, I am kind of curious. Interesting that the guide has a stake in this as well. But you might want to check that out. I'll put the links to those to both the ones I mentioned, the one that does like the Frankenstein and stuff, and the one that does the other games, because they have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of good stuff. I mean, and I'm sorry if you have been doing the thing that I mentioned, with putting secret stuff on the screen, and my screen is just too dark to see it. Okay, I made it lighter. Interesting. He says it's freezing. But you're using red. That's not a real criticism. How? They're like me. They just forget what they're saying and stop talking. Hello. You're a friendly little guy. Well, that's rude. I want to be his friend. So people are so rude. I can't. Does it? Can't really tell. I love him. No, I want to call you Kenny. Ooh, I like that little whoop. I wonder what the inspiration for this character design is. It looks very, it reminds me a lot of Little Nightmares, but also like it's got like a kind of like pyramid vibe to it. I maybe was thinking of like the burlap sack that he's stuck in. Is it its heart? Did I steal someone's heart? Oh, the necklace. Oh, I should probably save him. Yes, please. Yes, he called him Kenny. The funny thing is about the challenge doesn't matter as long as the content is understood. That's just good game. That's just good game design. Uh, I'll never forget the advice I got from the guy who made What Remains of Edith Finch is that you always want to design for the dumbest player in the room. I guarantee you there are people who did not get that right. Did not get it right. Mm. I want to like zoom in on my own eyes when that happens. Hi, Kenny. I knew you'd still be there. I'm assuming the jester. Sometimes the Christopher's commentary is very meta. Kenny. Oh, there are his eyes. You beautiful eyes, Kenny. Ah. Gonna save that. Oh, that's right. He's over here. I get where I think number 3 is heading of. Oh, the guy is trying to be. He's like, it's not like I like you or anything. Maybe we call him out for that. But there's a lot of proper nouns in this. Another proper noun. Arbiter. I don't know what that word means. All I can think is Arbiter Day, and I don't think he was a tree. I'm excited to see this Baron. I do love this. You see how like striking that is? I mean, you did see, you made it. That's so like striking. Use of perfectly timed, or like not perfectly, but like well timed contrast and stuff like that. I got twisted in my thoughts again. Fun fact: the Rorschach test, where you look at the ink blots and you like say whatever's on your mind, was actually used after World War One, and people actually get it wrong. It wasn't about discerning what the blobs meant to you. It was about like spending 45 minutes looking at ink blots, talking about them, whatever. And on the last page was bright red ink, and that would set off soldiers, like set off their PTSD, and freak them out. And that was what the Rorschach tests were. Basically, you'd focus on something that like isn't super, like you'd get used to seeing just vague black and white shapes or whatever, and your mind would kind of relax a little bit. So when you get hit with that bright red, it like, I think scientifically speaking, it would like reconnect to that memory. It's people with PTSD have that there's like a section of the brain that stores memories where people with PTSD don't, their memories aren't stored there. They're stored somewhere else, so they more constantly feel threatened by them. Or I'm getting all this wrong, but anyway, the shock of the red after all the black and white is supposed to basically bring out the fear that they felt, that the trauma, and it'll shock their system so much that what they've kind of been pushed down and like push back in their head will resurface, and that is was studied to be a very, very powerful tool. Sin City, the movie, also uses it to a very successful degree of everything being black and white and gritty, and then when woman is like in color. Detached. So it's just something to think about that I always find interesting. Ooh, he's finally being confident. I do wonder if the guide is a foil to Christopher. Like, was the guide a coward too? But he like couldn't come over but he couldn't overcome his fear, so he's in this terrible situation now. And that's like what could happen to the main character if he gets it wrong. And does that have to and does that tie into the fact that he like wants to bail out of the show? Like you said, yeah, he said earlier that like I'm willing to like fake sick to get out of this. Is that how the guide kind of feels? This guilt and ooh, interesting. I wasn't expecting that twist. Goodbye. Ooh, his teeth fixed itself. Yeah, yes, this is what I was talking about. This through line. I'm not gonna sign a contract that doesn't have the contract on it. I'm also gonna say that's just like bad business. Hmm. I hope I didn't just skip the credits. And thank you for making this game. I don't know how I feel about the ending. I do like the connection of the fact that his trial was just intense anxiety that he was having, and but I don't know if I like the fact that he just kind of did it. We didn't see that. Like, he did things he was scared of, but I don't know if that's going to be the end of it. Like, oh yeah, he like totally overcame his anxiety. He was able to take center stage, and awesome and great things happened. It feels like, I don't know, it feels a little unsatisfying to me. In like my mind, and this is just a stupid idea I came up with. You don't have to change anything. This is just my opinion. It would be fun to have like the last trial actually be the show, and you're playing through it, and maybe like instead of an audience of people, it's all like monsters, and like there's a lot of weird atmosphere and stuff going on, and like maybe the Baron and the guide or whatever are still like chasing him, but he has to finish the show, and it's his only way out. Something. Because it's what it was all building to have it just be like, you did great, just trust me. It's not the most satisfying, and that could be just a game jam issue. You just didn't have time to workshop that. Because again, it's still very, very good all the way through. I just think an ending like that would really pull it together. And I will say, it's like someone who, I do have terrible anxiety. I do freeze up and back out of things last minute, and I've messed a lot of things up in my afterlife because of it. The truth is, the only way to overcome that kind of anxiety, that kind of freezing up, is pushing through it. And I still haven't gotten to that point. Part of me making these videos and playing indie games is me trying to push through it. Like Christopher's concert or show would be like my game. You know, I put off working on my game because, you know, what if I mess it up? Or like, what if I'm no good? I have that same sort of feeling, but no amount of like demonic trials is going to clear that anxiety from me. I have to actually just be anxious and do it. And that's just the truth. Like, it's just exposure therapy. Like, you just have to do it. So I think the story would resonate a lot more if like there was a final trial and it was the show, or he thought he was out of the whatever the trial, but actually he's not surprised, and he still has something to go through. Because so like, again, I have really bad anxiety. I can't tell you how much I wish I could just snap my fingers and just be done with the thing I'm nervous about. But that's not how you grow. And this story is so good. It's like, I really do think it's good. There's a lot of good setup, a lot of good lines with a lot of good like characterization in them. But if you want the ending to match the beginning. Like, here are the stakes in the beginning, and those stakes need to be resolved by the end. Either he's worried about the show, he needs to deal with the show to end the story in a satisfying way, I think. I am interested by the fact that it was supposed to be AJ. I don't know if I missed something that you dropped a hint, because I read very fast, but sometimes when I'm talking, it doesn't register right away of why it was supposed to be AJ. But that seems odd. That seems like an odd detail, because again, narratively, it fits Christopher's character arc that he goes through this. As AJ was like secretly really struggling with something. We didn't really see that. So I don't know why it would be him. Maybe like in your original idea, you had a lot more to build into that. But as it is now, it seems like not necessary to add that twist in. Like I can understand wanting to use like all the characters you have, but Christopher is the main character, and this is about his problems and his trials, and I don't know. I'm curious as to why that was the twist, and I'm gonna ask it in the video. Maybe you could develop or can comment on it below in the comments, because I don't want to ask it in the review for the game because I don't want to spoil it. What was it? And I sincerely apologize if I just clicked through the explanation. It's entirely possible. I'm sorry. I do wonder why you made that decision to be like, it wasn't supposed to be Christopher, it was supposed to be AJ, because AJ seemed not to have any serious issues that he needed to work through, so I don't know why he narratively would be considered to be the person that was supposed to go through this, because it's very clearly like a metaphorical growth thing, challenge, hero journey, whatever you want to call it. So I just find that I'm just curious. Yeah, I guess if you are gonna leave a comment below, the creators of the game, what was stuff or was there stuff, narrative stuff, that got left out? Or got cut because it was a game jam? Like, was there more to the relationship between the guide and Christopher? I know there's multiple endings. I only got I think I got C and maybe one of the true endings. It didn't give me a bad end, so I don't know. Because I do see a lot of like tightly woven threads, and I will say this title screen does make me feel like I'm into high school. I could just hear the 14-year-old just yelling out something stupid while I'm trying to think. I am curious actually about the opening screen. Like, is it? Because none of this stuff really comes up in the game, like the lost cat and the clearance sale. I mean, I don't expect the clearance sale to come up. Did you just need to fill the screen, or is that like hints to something else that you did? I don't know. I want to know more about it. It was very, very good, and I don't. I don't want to seem too critical of it, because it's doing a lot right. Even down to like when I tried to click out of the window when I was testing the game, it being like, you want an early exit, or like, like you want to back out now, coward. It felt like that, and that brought it from that's some of the things that bring it from a story, like a short story, to a game. Like, I think I said in the beginning, like I understand how Christopher feels, but how can you make me feel like Christopher, if that makes sense? Just like little things to push it, to make the player, as in me, feel the anxiety that Christopher felt. Because not everyone has problems with anxiety, and they might not empathize with him as much. Like, I have that very specific problem of bailing out of things, so I understand completely, and the imagery makes sense for how awful that kind of thing feels. But, not everyone does. And if you just want to put this behind you and say, October's almost over, I don't care, I just throw this one out. That's fine too. I think you did very, very successful. And I am very impressed, and I wanted to stress that. And if you did watch all the way to the end, I don't know how long this is going to be. Thank you. I appreciate you putting up with me. I hope my voice was easy to understand. Because I mumble a lot. And I hope what I said was beneficial, or at least interesting. Because I'm not that entertaining. I'm not funny. I wanted this to be a feedback. I want this to be helpful to you. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. I do hope you leave a comment so we could talk about it more. I would love to talk about it with you. There's a lot that I want to ask, and I'm not good with speaking words. I'm better with typing them out. But yes, congratulations on making a very successful game. Yeah. I hope I didn't take too long. And let me know if I got anything wrong or did something stupid, because I always do.